Hey everybody, it's Joe, and there's been a subject that's been on my mind like a lot lately, and I want to talk about this, but it means that we're going to have to go over some ground that we've already covered. We're going to have to talk about copyright and Creative Commons, but if you stick with me through the whole thing, if you stick with me to the end, I'm going to give you guys a little gift, something that maybe a little bit controversial, but in light of things that I've been thinking about recently, I think is the right thing to do. So I hope you'll stick around. But before we jump into that, I want to show you guys how the Christmas tree project is going. It's going great. I'm just packaging up the last of the ornaments, and you guys have submitted some beautiful, beautiful ornaments. I'm really pleased and happy with what we've received. These are some of the last ones that I was working on. And yeah, looking at this, it's mostly low poly dinos and chibi malls. That's just at the top of the box. I was just filling out the rest of the box, but you guys have submitted so many wonderful lithophanes and everything, and it's great. But I wanted to point out and bring special attention to this collection. This is 16 of the 24 ornaments that was sent to me by Doug McKay of Line Upon Line 3D, a company name that I didn't realize the subtlety of until I saw this whole thing. If you don't recognize what we're looking at, each one of these ornaments has a building in it, and these buildings are temples of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And this, to me, I love these buildings. I love to see the temple. I go there frequently. So to me, seeing these ornaments just put a huge smile on my face. They really made me happy. So thank you, Doug. But thank you, everybody that submitted ornaments. You guys warm my hearts, and this is going to be great. I'm getting ready to package these up, send these to Salt Lake with the tree and with the 3D printer, and raise some good money for the Children's Hospital. You guys have been a part of something cool, and thank you so much. So let's jump into it. If you don't already know, I'll put a card in the videos where I've already talked a little bit about what is Creative Commons and copyright and how this all goes together. But the short version of it is this. If you create something, especially something with artistic or intrinsic value, that you are by law, and this law is just about the same everywhere in the world, you are by law granted the right to control how that thing is copied. And this copyright means that it is the artist who creates a thing who gets to decide whether or not or how or when it gets copied. Now, does that mean that I've heard people say, well, if you put it out there, if you put it online, somebody's going to be able to download it, so you lose your copyright. And that is demonstrably false, because if that were true, then no movie company would be able to release a movie, because somebody could sit there in the movie theater with their phone and make a recording of that movie, make a copy of it, and sell that copy. But that's illegal, because copyright is granted and they have control over that. So yeah, copyright it means that if I upload something, you don't have the right to download it, and you don't have the right to transform it with 3D printing. You don't have that right unless I give them to you. And the 3D printing community's solution to giving you guys that right is the Creative Commons license. Now, the Creative Commons license is really cool because it's piecemeal. You can choose which clauses go into it. Most people who use Creative Commons make sure that there's the attribution clause, and the attribution clause means, well, technically, legally, it means you're supposed to give credit to the person who made the design in specific ways and with specific documents and specific... But most people, they just want to get credit for what they've done. So if you at least pay attention to whose model you're 3D printing, and when you display those models, be ready to tell people, yeah, this was made by that person, this was made by that person. People like to have that attribution. So that's really what people want with it, and that's generally speaking how I enforce it. But there are other clauses that we can add on to this. For instance, there's the non-commercial clause. I use that one a lot because I don't want people making money off of my designs without giving me a cut of it. Now, creative non-commercial doesn't mean that you can't make money. It just means you've got to contact me and cut a deal before you can make money, or the designer of the thing. But there are other clauses that I don't entirely agree with. For instance, no derivative. The no derivative clause means that you can't take a thing and change it and then put it back out there. Now, what if you take a thing and change it and you don't share it with anybody else? Well, who's to know? But if you take a thing and you change it, you can't then re-upload that for other people to download. You can't share that with other people. No derivative is kind of damning the progress of ideas that people have shared, and that's why it kind of rubs me the wrong way. There are some cases where I kind of can see the use of it. For instance, Louie 3D, a great designer. Louise Digger's one of my favorite, and she sells some of her models. Well, when she sells those models, she doesn't want people remixing them and then re-uploading them. That's not good. But there are other cases that I've seen that I don't agree with. For instance, the Benchy. Did you know the Benchy is released no derivative? It's true, you're not supposed to remix the Benchy, but people remix the Benchy all the time, and what's more, if you want to find a lot of those remixes, just go to the Benchy page, because the people who make the Benchy love those remixes. They love showing off those remixes. So why did they release this model no derivative if they love the derivatives? I don't get it. It confuses the heck out of me. I don't like this use of no derivative license. Just let people make remixes. I don't get it, and it gets under my skin. Now, there is a discussion about changing designs because you can get around copyright with a couple of different things. First of all, educational use can sometimes get around copyright. And if you change the original design enough, then you can get around copyright. But what's enough? Oh, it's really, really confusing. Let me jump in and show you a couple of quick examples from the world of art. So here we've got, we've got an example of art. This was created by, well, the one here was a postcard. So the one on this side is a postcard that was done in black and white. And then behind me right here is a clay sculpture made by Dean Koontz. Now, he took a black and white photograph and turned it into a color clay sculpture. He took black and white dogs, turned them into blue dogs. He took the people and he put color in them that they didn't have. And every inch of this he sculpted by hand. This is an entirely new work, true, based on the original one, but it's entirely new. So, do you think that the courts would say that this is enough of a transformation that it is a new work? Well, turns out the court said no in this case. In this case, with every single bit of this changed, the courts said no. So you can't say that a certain amount of work has to go into something before it becomes a remix, because I can't see how much more work Dean could have done to this, and yet it was a no. Oh, it's not Dean, it's Jeff Koons. All right, here's another Jeff Koons. He took this dog from the comic books and put it into his work. He got sued by United Features Syndicate. Did they ever make this exact picture? It doesn't matter. He didn't make it out of this one very well. He was also violating trademark with this one. He claimed that he didn't know what the dog was. He just saw this weird picture and thought that he would incorporate it, but it didn't help. Let's take a look at this one. Let me move my head just a little bit. So here we've got a black and white picture, and here this person just threw a little bit of paint on it and kind of cut out a guitar and put it over the dude. He did hardly any work to this. And so obviously this is not going to be a protected work. Except it was. This was enough of a remix that the court said that, yes, this is a significant change. Why? I don't know. And the truth is, you don't know either. So err on the side of caution and don't test it. You know what I'm saying? Be smart. And don't say, well, I've made a change. I've done this differently. I've made it into my own thing, because that might not be true. If you're basing your work on somebody else's work, you might be right to say that you've created something new, but you might be wrong. And it's really hard to tell where that line of demarcation is. It's not 3 changes. It's not 10 changes. It's not reworking every inch of it with, retooling the whole thing. It is fuzzy. It's very, very fuzzy. Now, I said that there was a wrinkle in this, and I want to just discuss this very briefly, and I want to get your feedback in the comments, because we might talk about this again in the future. But what about functional parts? Functional parts don't get copyright. So when somebody makes something functional and they upload it to Thingiverse, they don't have copyright. Therefore, Creative Commons doesn't apply. So does that mean there was a case recently, I say case, not a legal case, but a situation recently where Tom Salander was working on a CNC machine, and he was taking somebody else's designs, and he took one part and he changed it, and he released his changed part under a different license than the original one, a different Creative Commons license. He released it open source. And the creator of that part said, no. My Creative Commons said you have to do it in a certain way, and you didn't. And Tom, being the nice guy that he was, said okay, and backed off, and actually disassembled the whole project. It kind of broke my heart to see. But technically, Tom could have said, you don't have any power in this situation because this is a functional part. So you didn't have copyright, so I can do whatever I want with it. Now, I'm not saying that we should do that. In fact, I'm saying that we should not do that. We should be more like Tom. We should be nice. We should respect designers' wishes, but with functional parts, and there's a lot of functional parts on Thingiverse, we're entering into a kind of strange situation. And this bothers me because I don't want to bring this up and have people come to the conclusion that they should not release their designs for people. I think that we get smarter individually and as a group when we share, and I want people to share more. But in this case, I'm not sure that Thingiverse and Creative Commons and what we've set up is helping us right. So what do you guys think should be done about this? What do you think could be done about this? And what are we going to do about this when somebody else who is less nice than Tom comes along and decides to push this matter? And again, you be more like Tom. If you're watching this video, be a nice person. Don't be a jerk about it, but sooner or later, somebody's going to come along and think that they have the right, and we're going to have to set a precedent. We're going to have to make a decision right now so that when that comes to the courts will look to us and say, well, they decided this back then. We need to go with that. We can do that now. So let's do that. All right. I told you I was going to give you guys a little gift. Here's the thing. I want to encourage people to make something new. And when I made chibi malls, I made them with these big round bulbous interiors, and my thought was this would be perfect for like enclosures for electronics projects and stuff like that. I just last Monday on Twitch made a turkey, a Chibimal turkey, and my reason for doing that was because the alien box for November contained a sound recording chip that gobbles like a turkey. And I thought, I want to make a turkey Chibimal that I can put this sound recording chip into. And I thought I wanted other people to do this as well. But the Chibimals are not out there available free for everybody to download and use. I sell those models just like I sell the low poly dynos, and I rely on the sales of those to fund what I do. So how would I feel if somebody took that model that I was selling, remixed it, and put it out there for other people to download for free? Well, here's the thing. I'm making a decision right now. I'm making a choice, and I'm making an announcement. If you remix any of my models, even just a little bit, as long as that remix is apparent, then I am going to say that what you've created is a new thing, and it's yours. But this only applies to my stuff. Don't go taking other people's stuff and thinking you can get away with this. But if I created the original model, I give you permission to remix it and call it your own. So let's go through a couple of what ifs. Does this mean that if somebody takes a Chibimal and the Chibimal accessories that I release with them and put the Chibimal accessory models on the Chibimal and make a new Chibimal that has just a hat that I released, they're taking two of my models and putting them together, that they can release their own customized Chibimal for free for people to download on Thingiverse? Yes, I am saying that. Am I saying that if somebody takes a Chibimal and shrinks it down and puts it on a ring, that they can then take that 3D model and sell it? Yes, you remixed it, you made it different, so you can do whatever you want with it. Am I saying that they can take a 3D model, Chibimal, remix it in some small way, as long as that remix is apparent? Maybe just put mustaches on the Chibimals and then sell those Chibimals to make money? Sell the 3D prints of those Chibimals to make money? Yes, I am saying that. Am I saying that somebody can take the entire set of my Chibimals, 3D print every single one of them, and take that Chibimal playset and sell it at a swap meet or fundraiser? No, because you didn't change it. You didn't remix it. You didn't make it your own. And that change has to be apparent. That is to say, you can't just take and reskin the whole thing and say, hey, every pixel's in a different place, therefore remix, or you can't just take it and decimate. No. You have to do something to it. You have to get just a little bit creative. But as long as I can look at it and go, yep, I can see Chibimal, but I can see that little part right there that's not something I put there, I'm gonna back off. Now, am I saying that you can release those and you don't have to attribute me, that you can say that that's 100% your design? Yes, you'd be a jerk, but you could do that. I mean, I'd like you, if you make a remix and you put it out there and you change it, at least say, hey, yeah, this is the Chibimal and Joe made them, and you can go to chibimals.com and check them out, but you don't have to, is what I'm saying. Can you take a Chibimal and turn it into an enclosure for a Raspberry Pi and re-upload that model onto Thingiverse for people to download? Yes. Can you take the set of Chibimals and just put them all on a platter and put them out for people to download on Thingiverse? No, you didn't change them. You just put them on a platter. I don't know. But could you take them and make them do YMCA? Yeah, okay. As long as the change is apparent. Okay. Now, the platter example, maybe I'm pushing it a little bit too far. We'll see. I don't think anybody's going to do that. What I'm saying is I want you to do something creative with them. And if you do something creative with them, it's all yours. And yeah, this is a little bit controversial because I'm basically backing off the level of what is a remix to say, yeah, even a little bit, is a remix, and I'm going to let you have it. But I'm going to let you have it because I want to see what you guys do with it. That's why I'm making them. Now, I am still going to be selling these models, so if you want to get them, I would appreciate if you would come to me and get them from me, and then take them and do whatever you want. But yeah, if somebody takes the Chiba models and remixes them and changes them and puts them out there to download for free on Thingiverse, I'm not going to have a problem with that. I'm not going to complain about it, because that's kind of what I want you guys to do anyways. What do you guys think? What do you guys want to do with my models, low poly dinos, Chiba models, or any of them that I've made now that I'm giving you permission? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to see about it. And yeah, I'm a little bit scared about this, but I'm going to let it happen. So be kind to me, guys, but I want that you guys to have that. All right, wrapping it up here. Thank you guys very much for watching. Remember, safety first. I care about you. I'll see you next time.